Hey everyone, Bancroft here with another exciting episode of Attack on TCG. And so I want to apologize for my Agent of Destruction deck I brought up for like 3 hours. I completely forgot that that card cannot play extra cards or 4 more, which is of course Dende in this case. Just because they took Child's Wish away. It was a very hectic week when I decided to put that deck together, and I didn't catch it. I want to apologize about that. I do have a new Agent of Destruction coming out, just not this week. This week would be my blue-yellow Janemba deck. And as you can see, I do have the cool Bardock and Crew mat, which I got from ARG. I took my mono-red prison lock, and I hated it. Should never make it mono-red. Keep it splashy yellow. But let's get into the actual deck. I do play the standard mill Janemba leader. So you swing it at your opponent, you draw 1 card. Your opponent has to take top 2 cards of the deck, put it into the drop zone. Pretty simple on that card. When he's awakened, he does the actual same effect, but you get to restand 2 of your energy. But he has an additional effect. By discarding 1 blue card, you get to negate an attack. Of course, with discarding 1 blue card from your hand to your drop zone, you get to negate an attack. This is once per game, though. So once you do it, that is it. Make sure when you do it, it is at the right moment. So let's get into the actual deck itself. So I tried 2 different variants of this one. I didn't like the first one. I like the second one a lot better. So we play 3 of the Sake Demons, which auto, when you play him, he gets to choose look up 7 cards on the top of your deck, choose 1 Janemba among them, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Or, if you play your cards right and you know that one of your Janembas is at the bottom of your deck, you can just take the bottom card from your deck. If it's a Janemba, you get to put it in your hand. Simple enough. But he is so important because he evolves into the Childish Heart Janemba, which you play 3 of as well. So it just costs 2 blue to do this, to do the evolve form. And this one has barrier, and it's a 3 energy cost for 19,000, which isn't bad. Now this Janemba is the one that kind of triggers the whole Janemba chain. In this case, you pay 1 blue, choose up to 1 Janemba card from your deck, send it to your warp, then shuffle your deck. Place this card at the bottom of your deck, choose up to 1 Janemba card with energy cost 4 in your warp, and get to play it. Now we actually have, in my particular deck, I have 4 different options for this. So let's get into those options. The first option, because I did say it's a blue-yellow, is the Janemba Agent Destruction. I like this one because not only does it have barriers to protect yourself on the field, but this one is great for defensive plays. And where I feel like this deck is more, with the blue-yellow variant to it, I don't get to mill my opponent as much, apparently, even though there's a lot of cards that really do that. For example, this card, during your defensive step, you can activate Aegis, where you discard cards up to what it says on the card. In this case, it's blue-yellow. So typically you could discard another Janemba Agent of Destruction, which will activate for your blue-yellow effect there. It allows you to restand 2 of your energies and get your opponent to mill the top card of your deck. Outside that, you can only activate this card when there is no other evil incarnate cards in play. So as long as he's the only one in play, you're good to go for that one. But that is pretty much it. It's once per turn to do his thing. These cards are interesting. I like them a lot. When you play them with energy, they go into rest mode, or rest. So that's energy exhaust for you. The second Janemba I choose is Demon Sword Janemba. I choose this one just because of the warp feature. So like if you're playing against a Broly deck, you just bring this guy out, warp his 8-drop. Hopefully that's where they're at, and that way you can go ahead and warp it so you can't recover, so it's harder for your Broly player to recover. Or if it's a I'm gonna pick on this one. If it's a vanilla Q, you could choose the Aider because they have a bunch of Gokus. Get rid of the Aider, stops the effect of them destroying your Janemba deck, so you don't really have a lot of effects there. So just pop a card that's annoying, pretty much. But he also mills 2 cards when you do that, which is pretty sweet. 20,000 crit. My favorite Janemba agent, the normal Agent Destruction one, crit 20,000. And what's great about this one is if this one's played from your hand or your warp, you get to restand 1 of your energy. So potentially turn 3, if you happen to evolve your Sake Demon into the Janemba, to the Childish Heart, and then you pay the last energy to pull the effect, put him to warp, then you bring him to play, then you get to restand 1 of your energies at the end of your turn, which is pretty nice. But this one also gets to mill 3 cards from your opponent's deck, and you get to draw a card when you do that, which is pretty nice. The last one, I only play 1 of, which is really rare for me to do. But I chose this one in case I have a problem player out there. Like if I have the the blue-yellow Janemba out there and someone happens to get rid of it and keeps on popping it so I can't activate its effect for defensive plays, then I'm like, okay, cool, I got no battle cards, fine, I'll bring out Reality Bender for 1 energy cost in this case. As long as your opponent has 4 more energy and there's no battle cards in your play, he only costs 1 to play, which is pretty nice. So, at the end of your turn, place this card at the bottom of your owner's deck, and you get to mill 2 cards from their deck, which is pretty nice. So, just a lot of fun ways of getting rid of my opponent's deck if need to be. And I would say in most cases with this deck, I've ended up taking out their life faster than I would actually mill them. Don't get me wrong, they will be down to like 5 or 6 cards, but I would still end up actually taking care of them before that. So a little extra support here. We play 4 super combos. In this case, it's the North Kai Keep and Watch. This is the standard super combo if you have 4 or less life. When you play, you get to draw a card. I do play 3 of the Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku, which is a 1 energy cost for a 10,000 plus combo, and you get to draw from that, which is pretty nice. I also play 3 of the Infernal Ability Cells, which is pretty much the same thing as the Son Goku. So pretty much my super combos right there. Now, by activating, say, the blue-yellow Janemba, restand to my energy, and then I have to combo with one of those cards, I can always turn around and play Senzu Bean to restand 2 more energy. I could play Dimension Magic to negate the attack and get to restand 2 of my blue energy, which is pretty nice. I can also play this one using my life, though, if I have 5 or more cards in my discard, my drop zone, which is, by turn 4, it's normally there, so I mean, either way, it works out for me. But it's a nice way to protect myself. I don't want to use my energy up just yet, or if I'm tapped out, then I can just discard a card, take a life, and then restand 2 energy and negate the attack. But that's not the only negates I play with this deck. I do also play 2 Flying Nimbus. I mean, you're playing yellow energy. Gotta do it. Especially during, in this case, I will call out the Vanilla Coup deck, because that deck typically would build that field, or even the Slug deck could build up their field pretty quickly. So playing Flying Nimbus will definitely shut that down. And I feel like I do play enough yellows in this to reason for it. Now, I know I called it out earlier. I have a Sparking card in here, but I also play 2 Overwhelm cards. In this case, it is the Supreme Kai of Time. I play this one just because I do have a blue leader, which this card will boost my leader by 5,000 power for the duration of the turn, and then I get to draw 1 card. So it's not a bad early game Overwhelm card, because then I could rebuild my drop zone after that. So now, if you're playing against a blue deck or another deck that could pretty much restand energy without using their leader effect, I chose to go, in this case, the Godly Destruction Whis. So for a 1-drop card, I get to draw a card, and then once per turn, when my opponent switches their energy to active mode using a non-awakened skill during their turn, choose up to one of my opponent's energies and place them in the drop area. Simple enough. It just helps me control my opponent from hopefully being too aggressive. Now, for a little extra flair, I do play 3 of the Bojack's blue-yellow Agent of Destruction. I have brought him out to the field. It has come in handy for a quick little blocker. But in most cases, this is either my energy card or the card I would pitch for the blue-yellow Janemba to get its effect off. I do play, though, 4 of the Bojack Pride. I love this card. So as long as you have a blue-yellow energy in play, at least 1 card is blue-yellow, so either the Janemba or the Bojack, this card costs 1 during my opponent's turn. So pretty much it's a 1-cost negate. It plays a battle card 10,000 power, and also my opponent has to mill the top card of their deck. So, and typically I can turn around and combo this guy away for other purposes. Now I do also play 1 Kami card. He does have Deflect, which is pretty nice, and this card pretty much is the stop my opponent from storming their field. So play him, then activate his main by paying 2 energy. Pretty much it blows up every card on the field, and then that's 4 costs or less, ignoring barrier. So it's pretty sweet. That is my blue-yellow Janemba deck. I actually like it a lot more than I thought I did originally, just because I made some quick adjustments to it. Like always, if you guys want to see anything you want us to do, like any special leaders, any special engines that don't make sense, we'll try it out, we'll put it together. From here on out, we are going to be back to doing the normal, hopefully 2 profiles a week, We do also have this week our local battles. We've recorded a couple of those this week, so those come up hopefully, if not tomorrow, the next day. So look forward to that. Like always, hit the like and subscribe button if you like our content. We appreciate it. And like always,
Fluff out.